This is TWiT. So, I got the Pixel 4 while I was gone, unfortunately. I didn't get to bring it on the trip, which I'd have liked. Ant and I both are orange. We're the orange twins. I am kind of amazed at the negativity. Ron Amadio, who I love, writing for Ars Technica, slammed it back and forth, left and right. Basically, the conclusion, even Florence Ion said, it's not worth it. Don't upgrade. People are, I think, miffed because Google didn't do enough in this new one to make it different enough from the Pixel 3?
I don't think they did. It's a nice phone, but it still doesn't justify the price.
I'm going to show you two reasons. First of all, let me just do this again. Don't you think the face recognition is... Ron said it's slow. It's not slow. It's not slow. It's fantastic.
Mine works pretty good.
I have...
Well, that took forever.
No, it was the lights or something.
Well,
normally,
put your finger on the back and it's boom, it's done.
No.
So much better.
No.
Mine is almost instant.
It's almost instant. In fact, I took it out of my front pocket a second ago and it was already unlocked like the minute it caught sight of me. So I like that.
Do it again.
Well, this is not a good. It's got a light shining right in it, and my face is at an angle to it. So I don't know if this is a good.
Mine is working, and it's not even in front of me. It's just
see, it's not. I have to do. But see, if I do that. So let me do it again with me.
Well, that's all. Just have to go.
No, you have to face it.
All around.
Look how fast that was.
It's pretty quick.
I'm facing it. You don't want it to unlock if you're not facing it. Then it would just unlock willy-nilly.
Every now and then it struggles with my sunglasses, but for the most part, it's really quick.
I mean, this is the same thing, and I have to say, part of the reason it doesn't bother me is the same thing we went through with iPhones a couple of years back, where they took the fingerprint out, and you just get used to it. But this, to me, is the killer. I mean, absolute killer feature of this. First of all, and Google showed this at I.O., but the idea that I can make a recording, and while I'm making the recording, it will live transcribe it, and quite well. Even down to punctuation. I don't even have to say, exclamation mark, period, comma, new paragraph. Although it apparently it did what I said. Well, that's one of the things that's interesting about this. It will go back and amend. It does editing after the fact, as it seems. Handy, actually. It seems to understand context. Yeah, you use this as you're going out to do reporting. You got
that is a killer app.
Pretty high quality. And
how dependent upon that hardware is it?
I think it is because it's the new Google Assistant on device. So one of the reasons it's so fast is it's doing this super accurate transcription. And I have to say, super accurate transcription. Nobody comes close. And it's doing it on device. So that's one thing I really like. I'm going to save that out. And then this, to me, and I had to put it in the control panel, the widgets up here, because it was on by default. It's called Live Caption. Now, the idea is if you're ever watching video or listening to audio, it will automatically transcribe it. I'm going to play a little bit of my Tech Guy show. So I'm listening to a podcast, and it's live captioning it as I'm listening.
It's pretty daggum fast.
Well, I could have used that cheating trying to watch the impeachment hearings when I was...
Let's watch the impeachment hearings. Great idea. Let's watch. So we'll go to MSNBC.
No, you got Ari Melber, but that's okay. Oh, and Nicole Wallace.
And so now the delay here is it's opening the stream to MSNBC. It's buffering. So same thing. And you can move this, by the way.
Oh, wow.
That is...
Now
that's
impressive.
Yeah, now how much would you pay? So, and it does that. It works with YouTube, too. So if you're watching a YouTube video, it's going to transcribe that as you're watching it. So I have to, and it's very accurate.
Matthew, as a reporter, would you have killed for this in your cub reporting days?
Oh yeah, I mean this is worth the price of admission.
Plus, I could turn the sound down, and I could continue to watch the hearings while we do the show.
Yep. No one will ever know.
YouTube's transcripts.
It's 1,000 times better than that. It's better too. Sometimes on TV they'll have closed captions, but they're often done by computers, and they're awful.
Right, and they're usually off.
This is actually kind of stunning.
Can you save the file?
Of this, I don't know. That's a good question. You can, of course, when you record.
I didn't see much of any options with it. It was more of a turn it on or turn it off.
But I do recommend adding that live caption button to your controls there at the
I
top.
wouldn't want to save the file sometimes.
I think it actually shows up under your volume menu as well. Yeah, it shows up under your volume.
If I do
menu
volume, I can also do it there. So you don't need to add it to the controls. That's nice.
Interesting.
It was on by default. At first, I couldn't figure out what was going on.
What is going on?
I'm watching a video and I'm getting captioning. And you can move it anywhere on the screen. So Google mentioned this at I.O. I feel like, all of the negative reviews I've read are, well, it's just kind of more of the same. I think it's pretty good. That's a nice feature.
Resident on there and everything else that can come with that.
That's right.
Be amazing.
That's right. The camera, what do you think, Ant? You're the photography guy.
The camera is really good.
Is it better than the 3? That's the question.
I think it's just a touch better. It's not much better. I have a friend that's using the 3, and we put some side-by-side comparisons up. And his name is Obi. I'm not going to say his last name. His name is Obi. And
we all know it's Juan Kenobi. You don't have to hide it. It's okay. You know some famous people.
And when we put them side by side, you can see a little more detail in the 4 versus the 3. Not to say that the 3 is bad, but there's still just a little more detail.
What about the zoom? Because remember, that was one of the things in the announcement.
Stop at 5x.
Yeah.
Don't
the
go
optical
any
zoom, it's still smooth, soft.
Don't go any further than 5x.
Okay.
2x is really good, though. Really good.
So one of the things Ron complained about, and a lot of complained about, and I don't blame them, is that every other phone now has 3 lenses, including a super wide. This didn't do that.
Yeah, I guess that's a preference, though. I don't particularly care for...
Those super wides don't look great.
Right, because a lot of times you're going to get soft edges in your images. And
distortion.
I just don't care for that.
Yeah.
Give me a telephoto any day.
Yeah. So, I mean, and the 90 hertz, everybody said, oh, come on, Google, because you have to turn the brightness up to a certain point. But, and I mean, I think everybody knows this, but I'll show you anyway. If you turn on developer options, which, you do by tapping the build number 7 times, once developer options are on, you can say, I want 90 hertz all the time. And I don't know, do you notice a difference with 90 hertz?
I did not. I've turned it off, actually.
It's going to kill battery a little bit faster, but people say it's buttery smooth animation. It's buttery.
I didn't see a difference.
Yeah,
I'm running the 60 and it looks and feels just fine. And my battery is lasting pretty much most of the day.
Yeah.
So you're not against it, Ant. You're just saying...
I think it's overkill. It's not really doing anything for the user experience, for me anyway.
It's really for people who look at numbers and say, I want the phone that has the bigger number. But
what phone did you have before, Ant? I forget.
The Pixel 2.
Oh, you jumped. You skipped.
I jumped.
Well, you're going to be even happy. I mean, anybody who had a Pixel 2 probably should get a 4, right?
That would be the only way I would upgrade. I wouldn't necessarily go from 3 to the 4.
Yeah, it's not a huge
happy
difference.
with my 3A.
Right. Yeah. But that transcription, I mean, if
that's pretty damn cool.
That's supposed to be coming to the 3A.
Will it?
One of these days.
Well, that's
one
the
of
thing.
these
They're
days.
going to have an APK out there for it, and
they said by the end of the year that the captions and the transcription will come to the.
We'll see.
We'll come to the 3.
It's the new assistant, and so the issue is how much. It's all on phone. So the question is, how much hardware do you need to do that, and is there specialized hardware to do that, and so forth.
Right.
But so as we've seen with some of the camera features, you can put it on the 3A, but it's not going to be quite as good as on a phone with the additional hardware, that kind of thing.
Now, speaking of the camera, we talked about the night sight astrophotography feature that's built in.
Have you played with it?
It's AI. And a lot of people tend to forget that it's AI. I've played around with it. And I've also installed a manual camera app to where I could actually set up like a 10-second exposure, and I compared the two. And the AI does a pretty good job, but there's nothing like setting up your ISO. And
But this is a phone.
Yes.
Although you make an interesting point. If you're going to do astrophotography,
do it right.
Are you going to want to do it with a phone? I don't know.
Well, no, I'll have to show you. I guess I could put it into.
I believe it. No, that's all right. We get the idea. In fact, there's a lot of examples. In fact, even in the TWiT community, a number of people posted there. Just quick and dirty. I I took a picture of the sky.
Right.
It's pretty. I mean, it's kind of neat that you can do that. I
You
think
have
it's,
that capability.
It's a proof of concept more than anything.
And I could spend a little more time with it. Hopefully, I'll be able to spend a little more time over the holidays while we're not in the studio.
I want a hands-on photo all about using the Pixel 4. That's what I want.
Okay. Asking you shall receive.
All right.
Orders from the boss.
Well, not really.
You know, when the president says he'd like something, does that mean it's an order?
It's a suggestion.
Again, voluntold, folks.
Suggestion.